What is up, DS3TV? We are back for another video. This one is the history of Bette Kane, the first Batgirl, so let's get into it. Also, subscribe to the channel. Want to get 1,000 subscribers by Valentine's Day. And, yeah, so let's get into it. And, also, this was recommended to by a subscriber, so you can recommend me videos in the comment section whenever you want to. And, I'll probably watch them. And if I don't, I'll probably give a reason why, but, yeah. So, yeah. Let's get started with the video now that I got my headphones and, yeah, play.
Today on the show, we're going to talk about Mary Elizabeth Kane. If you didn't know that her other names include Bette Kane, Batgirl, Flamebird, and Hawkfire, then this show is for you.
I didn't know it was Bette Kane. Okay. So it's Bette Kane, not Betty. Huh. That's kind of odd.
Mary Elizabeth Kane, also known as Bette Kane, would first appear in Batman 139 in 1961, was actually the niece of Kathy Kane, the Batwoman of that era. Most of you who frequently watch my videos probably already know why she was made, but for all of you that are new here, or if you need a bit of a refresher, then I'm going to explain it for you. So basically, there were a ton of accusations accusing Batman and Robin of being in a homosexual relationship, which obviously for the 1940s through to the 1960s would have just been something that was totally disgusting and unacceptable.
And also, it's still people that believe that too now, so, I mean, that's how you know it's been going on for a very long time.
So DC created the Bat Family. The Bat Family consisted of Alfred, Batman, Robin, Batwoman, Batgirl, Batmite, and Bathound. It was an interesting concept and actually brought in a love interest for Batman and Robin in the forms of Batwoman and Batgirl. Politics behind creation aside, Batgirl would only appear a few times between 1961 and 1964 before totally disappearing until the 1970s, where she would re-emerge as a member of the Titans West. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at 1961, where we will find her origin.
It's super effective!
So Betty would find out about her aunt's secret identity of Batwoman and would ask to join her aunt on her adventures as a sidekick. And this is how her form of Batgirl came about. Kathy actually hoped that her niece would eventually lose interest in being a hero, but there was one thing that kept her around: Robin. On her adventures as Batgirl, she'd actually prove her worth time and time again, and she'd actually survive being kidnapped by the Cobra Gang, and she'd also be the member of the Bat Family to take down the Moth. This being said, the Moth would actually break out of jail, and Batman and Batwoman would send Batgirl and Robin outside of Gotham to protect them, but then Batman and Batwoman would be kidnapped and the sidekicks would have to save the day. Batgirl and Batmite would come up with a scheme to make Robin fall head over heels in love with her, but this plan would fail because Batgirl would be kidnapped by a gang and Batmite would have to go to Robin and he would have to confess the scheme to Robin to aid in Batgirl's rescue. At the end of this adventure, Robin actually says to Batgirl that he's already seeing another woman, Lady Justice. The next time we would see Betty as Batgirl would involve this really strange adventure where Batman would be turned into a genie, and then she would disappear until the 1970s.
That was the most grumpiest genie I've ever seen.
During this time, Barbara Gordon would become Batgirl, and she would do a much better job. During the 1970s, we would find out that Betty actually became a world-famous tennis player, and she would only return to the role of Batgirl to work with the Titans West, and as a result she would end up working with the Titans East, and by proxy this would reunite her with Robin. It was also during this time that Betty would actually meet Barbara. A good way to tell the difference between Betty as Batgirl and Barbara as Batgirl is that Betty's Batgirl name actually has a hyphen in it, whereas Barbara's is just one word. As far as I'm aware, no one has really questioned this. I think most people just say, oh, it was the 1960s, they were still creating the craft. Betty wouldn't really do much in this time period. I mean, she was present at Wonder Girl's wedding, and she'd also battled Mr. Esper, but other than that, she was just kind of about. At the end of the day, she was a tennis player who did a bit of hero work on the side, whereas most heroes in the DC universe are actually heroes who have a regular life so they can afford their life as a hero. After Crisis on Infinite Earths, although she wasn't directly involved with the events, she was technically erased from history and replaced with someone that had a lot in common with her, a new character called Bette Kane, who had the same aesthetic features, and she was actually the 2006 Batwoman's cousin.
It's super effective!
This incarnation of Mary Elizabeth Kane would actually be called Mary Elizabeth Bette Kane, and she would first appear in Secret Origins Annual Volume 2. So blonde hair, blue eyes, and a banging body. Bette Kane was so used to being at the adoration of everyone while she was in the tennis court that she was just bored of being praised. Not only was she a tennis champion, but she was an Olympic gymnast and swimmer and a really successful pageant girl. As you can tell, this girl lived for competition, but she needed to compete in something else, something that would actually be a challenge. And this thing turned out to be the heart of a boy, the heart of Robin, the boy wonder. For as long as Bette could remember, she had adored Robin. She sent him countless fan letters, which he obviously never responded to, but this just increased her drive to meet him even more. Skip forward a few years and Bette is now 16 and more determined to meet Robin than ever. She creates a hero costume because she wants Robin to be the one to make the first move. She goes by the codename Flamebird, and it's actually during this time period that she has some of the highest profile heists in her career, but she still doesn't meet Robin. She would finally admit defeat and go back to being a regular high school student, and once she had graduated, she would take part in all manner of extreme sports, but she would find that it just didn't provide her with the same rush of being a hero. So she would once again don her cape and become Flamebird. After one or two adventures, she would join the Titans West, and she would actually get to meet Robin. And this is when she finds out that there is nothing between her and the boy wonder. And also the Titans West were kind of crap, so they were just kind of split up. She would then go on to help out the Titans in the Technis Imperative conflict, and this would be this Titans Justice League crossover. At the end of this event, she actually hoped to be invited for membership of the Justice League, but she didn't quite make the cut. And I think this is because there's a major difference between a hero who's saving people for good and a hero who's seeking thrills, and Flamebird, at the end of the day, is a thrill seeker. After a brief encounter with Nightwing, she found herself questioning who she was, what she was doing as Flamebird, her direction in life, and then something clicked, and the spark of a hero ignited inside of her. From here on out, it was her goal to spread motivation and confidence to everyone around the world, and she would actually help out Beast Boy in defeating Gemini, Fear, and Loathing. She would also try and convince Beast Boy to reform the Titans West, and with a bit of help of Beast Boy's cousin Matt, the team would be reformed, and then...
What's up? We're back for the rest of the video because... Oh no. Well, happy that my camera was not in there. I will pick that up after the video. But, yeah, so had to make a little cut in the video because the screen recorder stopped recording. Like always, I had to delete something, so yeah, we're back into the video, and I am interested to learn more about the first Batgirl. And we're in the part where she's flamethrower now, but yeah, here it is and play.
So the group was really more of an idea than a team, and I think that's really why they dissolved. The next time we would see her is after Superboy's death in Infinite Crisis, and she would join and leave the Teen Titans once again, and ironically, the new Robin would join the Teen Titans just after she leaves. Later on, it would be revealed that the flame of the hero has kind of died down inside of her, and that she's gone on to study sports medicine at UCLA, and she's also returned to the tennis court.
That's a different outcome than what I thought she was gonna have. That's very different.
Now she only becomes Flamebird when the occasion is necessary, and I think that kind of mirrors what happened to her as Batgirl.
It's super effective!
The next time we would see her is when she visits Gotham University and she visits her cousin Kate, who is the new Batwoman. Shortly after the New 52, Kate agrees to train Bette and starts her off at square one of becoming a hero. Kate doesn't really feel Bette is cut out for being a hero, so she makes Bette wear this grey jumpsuit and tells her that her new hero name is Pleb. Kate and Bette would have a huge falling out, and Bette ends up leaving trying to find solo missions, and this is where she encounters the Hook, who attacks her so violently that she ends up in the hospital in a coma. Later on, she would reappear as the hero Hawkfire, have a new costume and new tech to go with it, and Kate really doesn't think that Bette should be a hero at all, so she keeps a very close eye on her cousin.
It's super effective!
Okay guys, that is it for today. If you think I missed anything about Bette Kane, please let me know in the comments down below.
That's a pretty interesting story though, like honestly. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I don't think there's anything else in here. Yeah, it's nothing else. So yeah, you know, great video as always, and yeah, comment videos that you want me to react to in the comment section down below. Also, subscribe to the channel. Want to get 1,000 subscribers by Valentine's Day? Please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, so let's get in. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video, and peace.